podcasts on there. You got all these other things. And now I'm live on what is it called? The YouTubes of the world, and YouTube it's just acting up. And I said, that's what I'm saying. That's why you have to have somewhere where everything is. And I know tech is tech, right? And where is everybody from on TikTok? Tell me, what country are you from? Where are you at? Camille, I know where you at. I don't know where you from. I just started back what is it called? YouTube. But that's insane. That's why we need to I ain't got time for playing with your emotions and all that kind of stuff. And so this is what I'm saying, like you have to have a home for all your stuff. And so the reason why I like I said, the reason why I like Substack is because you get a website, you get posts, your articles and in your writing. Oh yeah, Alicia, you like Mexico? You have your website, you have your articles that you can publish. So you can podcast, you can build videos, how-tos, and you can even link your courses or link your offers or something like that in Substack. You just got to set up the back end. The back end is very simple. You just attach it to Stripe, get your Stripe account, real simple. Get your Stripe account, and then it has a place for you to put everything. All you got to do is get the people. And if you get more, see, another thing I love about Substack is that when people subscribe to your, your platform and all that kind of stuff, your things, what they can do, they can also recommend your Substack. So I get people from out of nowhere. Let me give you my stats. Let me just pull it up right quick because y'all gonna be like, what? So as of right now, I only have 165 subscribers on Substack. Now that's crazy, right? And that's just because I have not been pushing it as much, but I'm starting to write more and more on there. I published an article yesterday. So my goal is to try my best to build it up every other day. That's my goal. But let me pull up my stats so y'all can kind of, and I can tell y'all there's my dashboard. Okay. So my open rate for Substack is 44.39%. 59 of the 166 subscribers that have come in, 59 of them have come in from the app itself. A lot of people came from recommendations. People who subscribed to my Substack that already had accounts was 14. So 9% of the 166 subscribers came by way of they already had Substack accounts and they subscribed because they saw a note or something like that. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's up for the taking right now. So I would strongly advise that if this is something of interest to you and you can be consistent. Oh, I got something even better. Hold on, y'all. Because I'm gonna tell y'all this too. Not only will people subscribe to my Substack, I have recommendations like my clients or just people in general, like friends and stuff. I can recommend their Substack when people subscribe to mine. So everybody's getting subscribers because like attracts like. So if you have one, and you're subscribed to me and I see that you're subscribed to me, I can actually put you on my recommendation list. So that when people subscribe to mine, they will be guided to like, hey, there's a person right here that you can subscribe to, and it'll be almost like a little funnel. I love that. because it's community based. And when you have everybody, um, when you have everybody kind of and having their own thing and they have different specializations, you can choose who to subscribe to. Alicia said also build on Reddit. Oh, really? I heard Reddit is a gold mine. I did hear that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did hear that Reddit was a gold mine. I just mm-mm. But I did hear that Reddit was a gold mine. But you know what I like? I'm gonna tell you, I love Substack, but I'm gonna tell you my dream funnel. My dream funnel is this, and I'm not lying to you. And as I'm saying this, I'm trying to be better at decisiveness when it comes down to just trying things out. But I'm saying this out loud for accountability, probably is YouTube, Threads, Substack. You know what? That's true. That's true. I don't see, I don't like Instagram. I don't do Instagram like that. I do Facebook because everybody I have a community over there already, but I love Threads. I don't know, like Threads used to get on my nerves at the beginning when it first came out. I used to be like, these people are just insane. What's wrong? But but I really like Threads now. I've gotten sales from over at Threads. But YouTube, the reason why YouTube is always in the mix is because of the global exposure. That's why I said I really need to just lean in. My best friend, she's a real estate investor and in real estate broker and investor, and she does like classes and stuff like that. She's grown her YouTube channel to like 40,000 plus, almost 40,000. And my point is that she uses primarily YouTube and Instagram. Those are her two platforms. Like other platforms, she just kind of passively posts to. But I'm gonna like for me, I'm really like really a YouTube and Threads girly, and then Substack. Like that's my dream funnel. The reason why is because I know that Facebook is my um Facebook I'm monetized on, but YouTube pays me more. YouTube is very stable. She's absolutely right. Yes, Harley says love Threads down. Me too. Me too. And I know that my Facebook subscribers, they're on there and it's like 20. I have like I think 29 at this point, 29 subscribers. But I'm really trying, I want Substack to really grow, and of course, YouTube subscribers. I got like 5 YouTube subscribers at the blue the other day. I was like, where they come from? But we're gonna keep adding value. That's what I'm saying. It's I got a whole lot of content. Let me turn this air up. See, that's another thing. When I turn the air down, like it gets so cold, and then when it gets warm fast. So let me go and do this. Oh my goodness. And it's just on 72. That's crazy. Lord. It's insane. All right, y'all, I'm back. So let me turn the light on in a minute. Yes, me too. So that's my like dream funnel, right? So it's like YouTube, I can go ham with shorts. I mean, I can go ham with shorts because shorts is the discovery part of YouTube. When you want people to discover YouTube, your YouTube channel, not threads, Lord have mercy. Shorts is the way to go. Threads, did I say that right? YouTube. Okay, yeah. YouTube shorts and then move them to your channel if you want new subscribers. When you talk about threads has that For You page kind of TikTokification kind of thing, right? So people are coming in and they can see your content, but they can also have a way for you to look at people that already follow you or whatever, right? So it's good to engage with your community that's already following you. I think that's very important. And I love threads just because I love to read. I'm a reader. And so, and then I can save and I can organize my threads, right? So I told people earlier today, what I do is that if I want to respond to people's threads, what I do is just save them. And then like when I get off this live, probably a little around 7:30 or 7, maybe 7:45-ish, once I wind down and put these towels up that I folded up earlier today, go in here and respond back to I don't use like I need to. I do. I really do. I really do. Now you can share pictures and videos on there. But I just go back and I can settle myself and I can go back and respond or reply or share the threads and put insights in it. That way I can do it with a clear head as opposed to doing it off the fly. I don't like doing stuff off the fly like that. So I'd rather just collect all these threads or collect all these videos and then go back and respond. And so if you see me responding in a row, like all these threads in a row, you like, oh, Jay must be doing her like sitting down and doing it all in one time. That way the algorithm to pick it up. Exactly. Harley said it's so smart because when you willy-nilly, you really are responding, not thinking, because when you can sit down and write with intent, that's when you're best to me. I know that some people say, oh, well, I seem to put up a post and everybody just love it. But it's not intentional from a marketing standpoint. It's bringing in your people, bringing in followers, but is it bringing in ideal people that you actually want to do business with? That takes conscientious and setting up time. So that's the difference between emotional and being strategic. Strategic is going to be a little bit more, you need to think about it a little bit so you can make sure there's form to it. And what's the intent of the post and the response? You see, I put that, see that I explained all of that in my digital lead her writing system that I have. The writing system is amazing. It's my signature course, but it's because I'm a writer at heart. So I teach writing principles and things like that, especially for the feminine. And it has gotten people brand deals, sponsorships, all kinds of stuff. One of my clients, one of the students, she wasn't a client, but one of the students that got that system, she got $1 million in real estate contracts. So from writing posts, I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. I know I'm on here kind of like relax and chill, but I really know what I'm doing. Told y'all, some of y'all that tuned in, my client got a $250,000 contract. Camille, I've been saying it. Girl, baby. The girl that's on the case study in the course, if you go look at the course, the writing system, she about to move out of the country. She didn't build up her business. She was like, Coach, I just want to let you know I'm moving. What? I'm like, what? So that's the second person. There's no third. I got 3 clients that's moving out the States. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like everybody going on. I know I get on here and I'm a little, hood around the edges, but I'm a little hood around the edge. But when it comes down to writing, I don't play. When I can sit down and think and concentrate, and you give me some quiet time, oh, I can. I'm in it. You ain't got to worry about it. So I will close it up kind of with this. TikTok, you need to make sure you subscribe to my free Substack because I have a lot of material that's rolling out. But if you're talking about global growth, right? And you're talking about building a business that is going to outlast these times, you're going to have to get strategic, and you're going to have to get strategic now, It is not a coincidence that I'm going live twice. Everybody that's what I said. People tell me I want to get out of survival mode. No, you ain't. Yeah, nobody's not gonna get out of survival mode until this thing is done. Everybody is trying to get ahead. I ain't no shame in my game. I told people I ain't got no pride. If I want to go live 3 times to do it, I'm gonna do it. That don't mean I ain't got no money. It don't mean I got a low money mindset. It just means that I know that it's time to lock in, because I've been locked out too long. I've been playing around for far too long. And it's the time is of the taking. So if you see, like, Coach Eddie went live 4 times today. Because hello, I told y'all I ain't too prideful. There ain't no pride, baby. Ain't no pride over here. I'm a business owner. We keep the lights on over here. We do whatever we gotta do. Okay. It's just so I just want to be soft. Girl, please. Ain't nobody soft right now. Unless you got a husband that make a lot of money. Ain't nobody soft right now. There is nobody soft. There's no soft nothing. Nobody's soft. There's no everybody, like I told y'all, everybody that's making content. Hey Ken, everybody that's making content is not everybody working. I just love her content because she's working. Everybody working. Everybody. That's why I say ain't nobody fooling me. Everybody got their head down. Do you hear me? They pumping out content like it's great. Do you know Gary Vee said he was like, he was at a conference. Y'all look up Gary Vee on Gary Vee page on YouTube. He was talking about content. And content is his thing. That man said that he posts 4,000 times a day across platforms. Not 4,000 times a day on just one, but 4,000 times across platforms. And we know he got a team. Okay, so that's obviously that's obvious. And I said this on Threads, and somebody responded, "Well, he got a team." Like, girl, I know that. I know that. Like, we ain't crazy. 4,000. I just said it was inspiring. Like, whether he got a team or not, it's inspiring. Like, locking in. The man said 4,000, and the whole room gasped. I was hollering because we're not used to see. And then you'll hear people say, "Well, we don't do that, and we're not trying to put." I don't know everybody goes, and like I said, I'm a single mother. I have to lock in. Ain't nobody because you see how Maddie just skipped on out of here like it was nobody's business. She trying to go to the basketball game. She's trying to go to the basketball game. So you mean to tell me that I can't post at least 5 times a day? So if I got to go live 2 to 3 times a day to get in front of a different audience, that's what I'm gonna do. Because time is ticking. Now, with Jay, I know you talk about manifesting in reality, but I'm also understanding that in order for you to change your reality, you got to change the cause. And sometimes it just be that you need to raise the frequency of your platforms and things like that. You need more people. You need more eyes on you. I'm gonna say this again for business owners, those of us that will hear. You need more eyes on your content, and you need to stop loosey-gooseing around, because what are you working on? If you say you're working on content, okay, let's get the content out there. You got to get the rolling. Ain't nobody got time to be overthinking. I'm just been overthinking this content. You'll be overthinking poverty if you don't stop playing. This is for real. So I will be going live more often and on the Substacks and getting on everybody's nerves, and that's fine. Are you kidding me? You just got to be saying something when you opening your mouth or when you writing and posting. You just got to be saying something that makes sense. And see, nobody has any excuse when you got ChatGPT and Perplexity and all these other platforms. They can give you some type of format You ain't got to copy and paste. I wouldn't copy and paste everything it says, but there is some level of, let me outsource some of this stuff and tell chat because we got to roll. Because we got to go on. Hey, Charles, we got to go on. I just don't know. I'm trying to see how this put the post up there and put your call to action and schedule the next. I told y'all Facebook now. See this see that just hit me right there. Facebook got the scheduler now. Charles, you saw what I said when I told y'all that the other day? You don't know how happy I was. I knew it was on the mobile. But now it's on the desktop. I was so happy I didn't know what to do. So I really ain't got no excuse. I can lock in. And if that means that all day on a Sunday or all day on a Monday, because you need to set aside a day where you ain't doing nothing but scheduling actual content for the next week or two, or even to the next and some of your what is it called? Some of your platforms you can just belch that out just to get into the what is it called? Get into the SEO. Amen, somebody. I'm trying to tell you, like, this is the times are ticking. Just say these people ain't playing with you. You see what's going on in the world. Y'all stop acting like you gotta stop acting like you buried up under the sand. Oh, it ain't gonna happen to me. You don't know what it's gonna happen to because your children is up for grabs. I told you some of y'all that mamas, like I told my daughter, I said, we don't know what's gonna happen. Because now they coming for the kids. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You need to be able to protect your babies. Because you're gonna come back to these times and you're gonna be like Jay said. I sure did. Let me turn on this light. Baby, I'm trying to tell you. This is not a game. Ain't nobody playing footsie with you today. Ain't nobody playing footsie. This is it. I'm just trying to see if really want to do what I really do what you know how to do and then pivot later. Do what you got skills in. If you know how to make digital products, they're going to put it out there. Y'all, look, let me tell you how crazy I'm finna get. Because I got ClickUp templates that I'm getting ready to roll out. I'm putting them on Etsy. They ain't got to be on my website. They ain't got to be a specialization. I can put them on Etsy. I could put them on I can put them on Pinterest if I want to. I can have Maddie manage some of this stuff. I'm trying to tell you. You need things coming from multiple areas. Ain't nobody got, well, I'm just trying to make sure you can put some on Etsy. Y'all can make some real quick and throw that thing up on Etsy. You can write some ebooks. You can do something. Don't you know they got people right now? This lady has a Shopify account. Y'all, she got so much stuff. It is ridiculous, but they won't make so much money because it's digital products. So she just, goes around and speaking all that kind of stuff. She got GPTs, I showed my friend, I said, listen, this is the kind of 10X I'm talking about. I forgot her name, but I follow her on Instagram. But it's a Black woman. And I'm telling you, she got like 3 or 4 pages of digital products. Different prices, just folks just buying them up. And she believes in, she even said it on a podcast a long time ago. She said, I believe in guerrilla marketing. And they was like, what do you mean by that? She said, no, I'm talking about like you always marketing. Like you are being seen all the time. And that's because of the nature of how you have positioned your offers. And this is why I don't listen to everybody when it comes down to marketing, because your content is going to speak on your behalf. Just because you posted one piece of content this week don't mean that you need to post multiple times a day. You need to set aside that time while you're driving and you got somebody next to you, girl, just press play or press record And let me just save that B-roll. And you can put a piece of text over there and be through with it. See, if you want to quantum leap, you got to be ready to quantum leap. You can quantum leap into to the abyss. I'm over here trying to figure out what email provider I want to get. Find one, pay for it, and just fill up the thing. You had all year to do that. Just pick one. Now we don't care no more. Just pick one, and then you can. We got to make some money. We got to hurry up. So this is not the time to be sitting up here. So you can heal and go at the same time. You know that, right? You can heal and go. You can heal and build. I'm just trying to. You are stagnant on purpose. Put it out there. Even like I said, even if you don't think it's gonna work, you like, I'm just gonna put it on Udemy. If you that scared that your course is not gonna sell, put it on Udemy and you got it. You got what's that thing called? ChatGPT or whatever, Gemini, whichever one you use. And you can ask it for SEO keywords and description and put the thing on there. If you that scared. And leave it alone. Y'all gotta stop taking your time. This is not time. This is not to be. This time is of the essence. You got to be in your right now, and you got to get into the flow state because we got to flow. It's either flow or you're gonna be scrambling. So you better do it while the getting is in flow. You just got to have a sense of pace. You got to go just a 5% faster. That's all you got to do is go 5% in. 5% faster this time. And stay in the present. Get out of anxiety and just start. Make a list of everything you want to do. Look at what you already have and see the fastest way to get there. Y'all with me? Everybody with me? Because I'm finna get ready to get off. Everybody with me? All you got to do is look at what you currently have. If you already got trainings, if you already got PDFs, if you already got workbooks, if you already got some of this stuff, put some of that stuff out, and then you can enhance it. If you want to enhance it with some type of AI supplement or something like that, you can do that. But most times you don't need all that because you already got the stuff. Some of y'all got $1 million worth of stuff in your Google Drive that you still need to do something with. You ain't did nothing with it. All that money sitting up. That's what I said. All this stuff I'm finna unload. I'm about to unload. Because I don't have that kind of time. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go on. And that's just it. You need all cylinders firing, and you need the systems to take care of itself, to serve the bottom line, and to serve your people that's being served by your content. Because it could just, all you need, that's why I said Substack for me. The welcome email is already in there. The upsell email is already in there. All I got to do is just change out the link a little bit, but it's already there. It does not, however, take the place of an email marketing list when it comes down to like courses and stuff like that. And it doesn't take the place of email, like cold email marketing. So if you're looking for something like that, then no. But I'm going to tell you this too. With Substack, it goes out to all your people. So it's a newsletter. So just like Beehive and Kit, right? Those are newsletters. So your newsletters, there's just a little bit more intensity to it. It's deeper than a Facebook post, if you will. Because the newsletter is giving people insight to what's going on, and you're getting specifics from them. That's why it takes a little bit more time to do a newsletter. It's like you're writing to one person, giving them your art, having them enjoy, because your newsletter is something that people should be enjoying and reading and looking forward to opening. That's our mission. Like, we know we talk about sales and things like that, but we really want our newsletter on Substack to be things that people actually want to open and enjoy reading. and be prompted to take some sort of action. You understand? That's art in itself. The gift of writing. It's a spiritual practice in itself. So even though we're typing, I do think that there should be a space in your life where you're writing things down, like with pen and paper. I will always say that. I will always say that from infinity to infinity, because writing is law. And keep that, and teach your children the sacredness of writing. Yes, typing is going to be more and more pushed because they want you to focus on the technology and feeding a system. Because guess what? When you are feeding a system, you get to track where they are. Because I can track. If I'm typing and it's going into an operating system, I know where this person is. They're online. And they're online on this website. And they're online on this website at this time. So I know where they're at. And I know what they're talking about. So I can track keystrokes and all of that and what they're putting in the system. But you don't know what I'm doing when I'm putting in my journal. My ways are not your ways. My thoughts are not your thoughts. You see how they correlate? I told you about this manifesto. And my thoughts, I need to know what your thoughts are. So your thoughts are translated through how you write. Your thoughts are translated. Your innermost thoughts. Usually you write this stuff. That's why it's good to, if you want to unleash on somebody, you want to go off on someone, you need to probably write it down first, get it all at your system, and then think, like, okay, this is how I feel about it. So I can just kind of retire that instead of sending them this letter. Now, if I'm going in online and typing it, I can get a record. And see, people can not only they can see the record themselves. They can say, "Girl, you see what she posted 2 weeks ago? Did you see how she did it?" So everybody know your pattern. Everybody will see. Sometimes the left hand will need to know what the right hand doing. Sometimes the right hand, the left hand will need to the right hand will need to know what the left hand doing. So you probably sometimes when those innermost thoughts and some of those spiritual downloads that you're getting needs to go in some on some paper. You need to get your little journal or something. In fact, when you get some time this weekend, next week, you need to go and get maybe 2 or 3 of them things, or order them from Amazon, because you don't want to get to a point where you want to order a journal and all the journals they discontinue them. They say you can't write in journals no more. And we don't want to get to that point, because they want to track everything through tech. I told you the Aquarian age is all about tech. Tech. Either we're going to live harmoniously with tech, or we're going to live volatile with it, and we don't want to do that. So we just got to get through this. And I told y'all, and somebody talked about this today. This guy spelled it out, and I didn't want to hear him, but I said that's exactly what came to me 2 years ago. Me and my ex was talking. I'm not going to say everything that he said on here, because I don't want to mess y'all up nervous system wise. But he was just saying, some things that I had shared with my ex about a year ago, probably a year and a half ago. And I said, it's just that we got to get to the other side. I said, and I'm determined. I kept telling him that. I said, I am determined to get to the other side of this thing, because I want to see what it's going to look like. I want to get to my utopia. And he said that the guy, the content creator, said this today, spelled it out almost exactly like I had described it to my ex, and it messed me up a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been saying. So I thought it was very interesting, right? Because this is the shift of a regime. It had to come down. It had to come down. And so we think it's spiritual. This stuff is already planned. This stuff was planned since the 60s. I could take you down a rabbit hole, but I ain't gonna do that to you today. It's been planned since the 60s. So when people think about who's in office and all this kind of stuff, he had to be there because it was planned for him to be there. I'm telling you, I'm not playing with you when I say that. And I know that messes with some people because you want to believe that your vote counts. It was already planned. So when I see people just saying online, and I'll never forgive people that voted for him, because it was planned to put people against each other, but it was already planned. There are so many different, like even I ain't gonna say that. Let me shut up. Just know it was playing. Just know it was playing. It was playing. He was the one to usher in this thing. Hardly say I believe it. And I'm really not, I'm not being a conspiracy theorist when I say that there are actual documents that highlight that they're both two sides of the same coin. I know people don't want to believe that, but and some people are never going to believe that because I told y'all America, the US keeps the mind of their citizens infantilized, which means keep them emotionally immature. So they want to believe that they had a part in things and they really didn't. It's just the illusion of choice. It was the illusion of decisions. There was no, it was already done. They already know what all that is going to look like. All the way past 2030, they already got a plan in place. It's sad, but it's true. That's why I'm bothered, like thinking about the whole politics stuff. And I'm gonna even go as far as tell you this. Y'all forgot I got the receipt in here too. I am really tripping today. So I had my card in here earlier, forgot. Y'all know I'm old school. With I'm gonna say this and I really gotta go for real. Like when what's his name, Gavin Newsom got on here and was talking about, Americans do something. And I got irritated with that but I knew what they were doing because it was riling up rage bait, right? So people feel like they got to do something, but they don't know what to do. And that's the nervousness that people that are not working on their own plan and working on their own focus, you get caught up in the rage bait. You get caught up in the hype of we got to do something. You know why no one is going to do anything? And I was going to make a post about this and I didn't. But the reason why nobody is going to get up and do anything is because we are a society that depends on directives. Ain't nobody going to just get up and do something strategic as a quote unquote revolt. They're not going to do that. The closest thing you're going to get is a protest. And people can do that. They can go and get a poster and just because it's nothing. They think that is progressive and it's not. You need a new framework if you're going to shift. That requires strategy and it requires post strategy. So you got to have a plan to move people to that. And then you also have to have a plan when you're in it. And then you have to have a plan of survival after that. That's what people don't understand. And this is why I've been trying to tell people no one's going to do anything. Everybody's waiting on the next person. And that's why I say y'all need to just build anyway and get ready to just kind of travel and be a digital nomad if you can. And if you're not, just be, and you're going to be fine, right? If you know how to navigate yourself and don't get flustered when people say, oh my gosh, you need to get this and get this. Nobody's going to do none of that. I'm telling you, people too scared to even get a gun. I'm sorry to say that online, but if they haven't done anything now, what makes you think they're gonna do something? They ain't gonna do nothing. That's why I'm not worried. Like people like, are you worried? I'm like, I'm not worried like for me. But they're not gonna do anything. Nobody's gonna do anything. You gotta protect yourself. Y'all gotta go get some. Nobody's gonna do any of that. Nobody's gonna do any. That's why I said y'all don't worry your pretty little head about all the stuff. The food is fake, so they're gonna have more than enough fruit, have more than enough food. You're gonna be fine. Everything is GMO. That's why I said y'all do not let these people mess you up. Nothing is going to happen. It's just going to get more and more. The rage bait is just going to continue to fly off the radar. That's it. They're just going to continue to get on here, and even on that new app that they're going to introduce, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing. That's not my reality. Yep, that's not my reality. It's just not. It's not. And then, like I said, people are so ready to, we got to get up. We got to wake up. Okay, so you got to wake up and you got to do something. That's the part where nobody is strategic. Plus, you have a whole slew of people that everybody, quote unquote, elected call the House of Representatives. They're representing you. So why aren't they turning over tables for their constituents? Why are Americans like that's got to go to work every day? What are you going to do? You ain't got time to break away and take off time for work to go up there to Capitol Hill. You ain't never going to do that. You're not going to do that. People got to work. That's why you have representatives on your behalf, but they off. They're not doing anything either because it's all a game. It's all a stage play. It's all a stage play. This is all, everybody in causes. I don't trust none of them up there. You got to have a strategy. When you don't have a strategy, guess what? You're not giving directives. You got to give people, okay, so this is what we're going to do on this day, and then this is what we're going to do on this day. When people just get to a place where they're just boycotting a store, like boycotting Starbucks, and that's easy. Boycotting is easy. Like you just drive past Target and go to Costco. You're still spending your money. And even though all of them are owned by the same company, that's another thing too. They're all by the same. Blackstone owns over 300 brands. Like they're stacked. All of them owned by the same folk. And it's a corporatocracy. So what you have to remember is that it takes strategy to move out of a thing. Yes, that's exactly, but that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what it means, Charles. That's exactly what it means. This is a theater. This is theater. This is exactly what she has to speak in parables, but that's exactly what this is. And so when you start telling people these things, and people are like but you got to remember the mind is there's arrested development. There's a deep arrested development, especially among women and men too. But women, we're really, and we're good at taking management and knowing what to do, and we can overcome things, right? And this is what I'm saying when it comes down to strategy. If you don't have a strategy and a map, and you got to have something post after you finish this thing, that's the reason why nobody is moving, because no one is communicating not only what to do, but what's going to happen when we do this. There is no post-op strategy. How do we know we're going to be okay? How are we going to settle into this new normal once we then drew everybody out? What's going to happen after that? Because people got kids. People got babies. I mean, what are we going to do? Because we're used to structure. And when you don't have a structure, then people don't know what to do, because how are we going to exchange goods and services when people don't have any skills? Everybody talking about growing your own food. People live in apartments. A lot of people live in apartments. And then sometimes, people got yards and stuff. They don't want to get out there in their grass. A lot of people don't want to get out there. People will sit there and look crazy when you got a whole yard out there and you're not learning how to till. So they're not going to go out there and grow nothing either. And then some people are growing things that they don't have the authorization to grow. Because some municipal city districts and stuff like that forbid and restrict gardens. So you got to even get permission to even plant a garden because of the capitalization of gardens. So they find out you got a garden and then don't have a community garden, they're going to pluck everything up because you don't have the authorization or the permit to plant a community garden, because everything is capitalized and monetized. So you got to think about all of that. We got to think about all of that. And see, people are not thinking about that. They're just saying, wake up, wake up, wake up. Everybody woke. Everybody woke, and everybody is completely aware. But if you don't have a sense of directives and initiatives and a plan in place and a post-op plan for people to be settled, because the issue is what is going to happen to us after. Because people want to feel stable when they're doing anything. This is why it's playing with us, because we are our own safe space in so many ways. If I don't feel safe going out there and doing all these things, and you're not reassuring me that I'm going to be okay and that I'm going to come out this thing as safe as possible, and then on top of that, y'all already have standards and structures in place where people can land softly after we've messed everything up and got everybody gone and all this kinds of. Okay, so now we can relax knowing that we have a plan and we can keep going. You can't do that when you ain't got nothing. So everybody's emotional and hollering online and yelling online, but nobody's gonna do anything. That's why I always I just scroll right past them folks. Just nobody's gonna do anything. And that's not even because if you haven't done anything up to this point, like radical, I'm not talking about going out there and protesting. I'm not talking about that. If you haven't done anything radical, not happening. And I'm sorry. It's just, that's just what we at. And that's why I've always said when the men sit down, we cook. Because the men are the first ones because they got the physical strength. So when we talk about provision and protection, and the men didn't get up and do nothing, that lets you know right there we off. That's what I said, honey. I ain't even. They're gonna do something. I just look at men sometimes and I be like, y'all are really useless. I hate to be mean. I'm like, oh, because nobody is scared. I mean, people are scared too. They're scared to do that. Anyway, so they're scared to do that. Nobody wants to leave, but nobody likes to stay either, which is really weird to me. Like, that's the whole point. Like, you're going to, if you're going to revolt and you're going to, really, really get down to the nitty gritty, you got to be, you can't be afraid to. That's part of it. That's a part of because you are the sacrifice. So if you're going to sacrifice because the children and whoever's left over are the ones that's going to benefit, and you're understanding that that is the sacrifice you're willing to make in order for the chance that people after you can live better. That's a revolutionary. A revolutionary is not a content creator. Somebody that's thinking of content and scheduling content, and people think that's a revolution. That's not a revolution. You're just on an app talking to each other and to your followers. You're not talking to the people up there that needs to be saying. You see how off that sound? I want to talk to y'all. Let me talk to but you're talking to your father. You're not talking to him. Mm-mm. So the revolution is being content that people thought of and then got online and started recording and put a caption and posted it. Put a little hook and posted it. That's not a revolution. That's I want my followers to see it and get some more followers. Until somebody get both. See, a lot of people was mad at January 6th. I looked at that as an observer and said, now we messed them up. Now we got messed up with that when that same action was, I told people, you can say what you want about the red, but one thing they're going to do is they're going to stand on business when it comes down to getting up and take some action. They don't mind. They don't mind rushing in and taking over if they need to. If this is going to be the same, that's the kind of response and more that you need to do on the blue side. Ain't nobody going to do that because the blue side has been known to be, we scream and yell and cry, but don't nobody get up and do anything. They're jelly bags. The blue is jelly bags. I'm not saying I don't agree with the red, but the red is going to do what they got to do. And you can say whatever you want about it. Observe. They don't play when it comes down to standing on business about what they want to do. It's the blue side that are laying down and just crying. I'll never forget when and I'm promise I'm gonna shut up about this. Who said Michelle Obama when she said when they go low, we go high. And I remember when she said that, I said, my mom said me and my mom was watching it, and I said, I said, nope, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. And she was like, Jay, why you said it? Because they, we don't have to go. I said, nope, nope, nope. I said, you got to be as ruthless as them. I said, if they say they're going low, you got to go lower. I said, do you know who you playing with? I said, they ain't know who Donnie is. I said, that man's a shyster. That man is insane. You going against a man that don't know nothing but being the best, even though he ain't the best. He is his daddy and his folks. If you go look at the documentaries of that man growing up, he grew up with his parents telling him he was the best. That's programming. That boy was raised up knowing he was the best, even though he sucked at everything he did. And he didn't stop being what he was. He didn't care. What was that book? Positive Psychology. They used to listen to tapes over and over again. So when I be trying to tell y'all to program yourself, that man was listening to tapes. So his parents were telling him when he was young. And then when he became getting into policy, I mean not policy, what is it called? In the real estate, like real good when he was in his 20s and 30s, the man was listening to tapes, them personal development tapes and positive and motivation tapes. The man was listening to that day and night. So you don't listen to him. You don't listen to positive affirmations and stuff like that. You listen to some of these people listen to this stuff and it goes into their subconscious mind. So they get older and you can't tell them nothing because they are number one in their mind. There's nothing you can tell them that's outside of that. So when they're talking about creating a reality, this man is in la la land. When he said make America whatever he said again, great to him is what's fueling him. And plus some other people. Plus some other folk. But that man was programmed since he was young to be the best. Are you kidding me? So all this stuff talking about, he just said that he don't even know. He don't know how to read. Yes, he do. He just act like that man know what he doing. He know exactly what he doing. He know how to play the fiddle. That stuff, if you want to be number one, you're going to have to be number one. Even if you last place to everybody in the world, that man, that's why everybody can say what they want about him. He's not going to budge. It's that ingrained in his DNA. I'm telling you, look at these. You got to understand your opponent. That's why I say y'all don't study your opponent. Y'all just looking at the surface of, oh, he's messing this country up and this. No. Go back and look at the origin. Go back and look at this man's life. Go back and go all the way back and look at this man's life. And you're going to understand like, okay. That's interesting that's the reason why he think the way he do. See, that's another thing. The reason why you don't even know how to make, you got to know how the man think. And there's like 3 or 4 documentaries on Netflix alone on him. Because quiet as the kept, like Ivana, his first wife. Baby, don't let me go down a rabbit hole on that. Because that's a whole thing, honey. Ivana was bad. She was bad, baby. And he didn't like that at all. That woman was bad. You could say what you want. If you look at that documentary and how she used to run his businesses, and she was really, you know how they say what women are helpmeets or whatever. That woman was really passionate about helping him be who he was at that time. He didn't like that because she was getting attention. People starting to give all the attention that he wanted. Don't get me started, y'all. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to spoil. I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was so interesting. That I'm telling you, what you got in that house up there on 1600. The man ruthless. That's why he got Melania. Melania, but see, the thing about her, and I got to be careful saying her name too. The thing about her is he got her when she was young. She's a model, but she ain't dumb either. She came from a country where, she had to use her good looks to get ahead because, women didn't have a whole lot going on over there either. So she looked at him as a ticket. So he was a passport bro, if you will. So she used him as a meal ticket. So it's a whole rabbit hole, baby. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't get caught up in the hype. Study your opponent. You got to always study your opponent, and then you can understand how this stuff work. And you ain't bothered because you already know how. And then he's being used. He's being used to usher in an agenda that's bigger than him. He's just the face of what's going on, but he is being utilized. Project 2025 has nothing to do with him. They're using him to usher it in faster. But it was already working when old boy was in there, Joe. They was already putting things in place. It was just slowly and under wraps. Nobody was talking about it. They was already slowly putting in things in place. But now with him, they can speed it up, which is why we got things in this out loud. Because these are extreme conservative initiatives. They're almost done. If you're going to look at, I forgot what the website is. It's a website though, but they're 62% done. That's what I'm saying. They not playing. They're not jacking around. You got about another 2 years before they're finished, but they're not playing. And if you can go on there and see, and they're being wide open about it. That's why I told people they're being very, very wide open, and they're very detailed about what they're doing. They're not hiding anything that they're doing. So people are like, oh my God, they can't, baby. You can not only will you be able to see what they have done, you can see what's in progress, and you can see what they got left. And the concern is what they got left and what they're doing right now. That's what you need to see. I can't believe they're doing this. They've been doing this. What you mean you can't believe it? And so that's why I said, if you don't have a plan for your life, they got one for you. And they're telling you what they're doing is wide open. It's public. It's not classified. It's not under some government. It's straight up wide open. You go to the website and they're telling you everything they're doing step by step. And you can see in real time when they start closing down. So I'm like, oh my God. And it's an official website for it. They got a PDF manifesto that's pages and pages long. It's very, very thick. They have all the names of everybody agreed upon it. So it was a document that was written out, authored, and revised and agreed upon. So that's what I'm saying. There were agreements. Different organizations, different religious groups, all these people and it passed through and they lobbied for this stuff. That's what I'm saying. Them some bad folk, baby. They took their time and quietly. Well, what we do? We're gonna get our own. Okay. And watch it don't last more than 30 days. These people been playing this stuff since the 90s, late 90s. Appreciative inquiries, formats, how they were going to do the milestones. That's what I'm saying. If you know project management, they did not play around with it. They did not play around. See, they sat down and went through data, and they had a vision for it. And the vision was made in detail. And people, what I'm saying, the details were laid out in amounts where people can agree upon, and everybody was able to provide input. And as a result, they laid it out, they typed it out, and then they circulated it amongst people who held some level of rank in the conservative community, got their buy-in, and then they were able to have those ties to the political agencies. See, not only do you have all these people, but you also got relationships with people, the powers that be. And see, you can, when you got money, as I'm saying, if you don't have any money, you can't change the world. When you don't have money, you're at the mercy of those who do have it, because money is power. Money gets the respect. You can't come to no table and demand nothing when you ain't got no money. This is why when you watch town halls now, you got these people that's getting up to the mic and saying all this stuff, and you see how, and watch the people at the table, like at the panel, the elected officials, and how they don't even raise their head up, because ain't none what they saying gonna make them budge off of what they getting ready to do, because they were all bought out, they were all monetized and given undercut bonuses, and nobody's gonna do anything. And I'm not talking about this from a standpoint of, maybe, I don't know, Coach Jay, maybe, no, you need to think. I'm a strategic thinker. And that's thanks to my mother, who's a Libra, because my mom is a very, very like analytical person. She's almost too analytical to listen to this conversation. But and then plus I've had conversations with men they're very smart men, like men that have been in the military, men that are leaders, and I've listened to how they talk and I listened to them over the years. And I listened to people in meetings and boardrooms and how they describe different things. I'm like, oh, that's how. So as for a learning moment for me is that I've always wanted to look at the big picture, look at the vision, and then you look at a bite-sized amount, and then you break it down. This is how we're going to do things. Milestone, this, and this. So after this is what you need to do. Because women, especially women, we have to be directed to do something. If you give us A plus B, B equals C, it makes more sense to us. And now that you have clarity, you have to do something with it. And action is scary when you got clarity, because now there's no excuse. And so sometimes we try to find something to use it as an excuse when we're just borrowing procrastination. We're just procrastinating. But there are some people who are absolutely dead set on their goals being met by any means necessary. And that's why I told people, unless you're going to be as ruthless as these people are going to be, or they are being, you can forget it. Ain't no love and light. What are you talking about? What love and light? You think it's love and light, and that's nice and it's cute and it's sweet. That's not how this works. You can't bring a butter knife to a dragon fight. And that's what everybody's trying to do. You're trying to bring a little fan to the bonfire. That's not how this works. You're trying to bring a little, what is it called? Spray bottle to that's not what's happening. And I'm sorry. That's just, so this is the reason why you need to build. This is the reason why you need to do it, and you need to do, and I'm going to tell you this, and I promise you I got to get off of here because I got to go pick this girl up in a minute. The reason why it's so okay to build right now, because this is the best time to do it without a whole lot of judgment. Because I promise you, nobody cares. You can mess up. I promise you, if there's a scandal or controversy around your name, people are going to forget about it in about a week, depending on how big it is. People's attention span is very, very short. Like, you can literally like drop the ball on something and people are going to forget the next day. They're not even going to remember. So that's why I said, you might as well put it out, because what's the approval you're looking for? Because everybody ain't, this is the best time to mess up. If you're going to mess up and put it out there and it don't sell or something, ain't anybody going to notice. Just pull it back and put something else out there. That's how off people are, because we're fueled with so much content all the time. So nobody's gonna remember. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice, because they didn't see it. So you're like, dang, I used to waste all the time and nobody even cared. People don't sometimes don't even see you, they don't see you. And if they do see it, they're gonna forget. That's how forgetful people's memories, they're forgetful. So anyway, get on Substack, subscribe to my Substack. If you want to partake in the subscription early before Tuesday, get in, and that way you will take advantage of the August special. But we are moving forward. We're moving forward, and I'm so excited about this. It's going to be awesome, but you got to keep your focus. You got to keep your game face on. TikTok, make sure you follow me on my account. This is the account. This is, don't follow no other account, and don't, this is me. Okay? Go on YouTube if you want to catch this from the beginning. But we're going on, y'all. All right, YouTube, go make some money. You too.